Hi, Raneem. I'm very happy to see these new essays from you. Let's get right into this. Okay, we start off with your task 1. The bar chart shows the sales of 3 types of vehicles. Vehicles. Vehicle brands, maybe? Is that what you mean? Yes, vehicle brands in several countries in Europe, namely BMW, Ford, and Audi. You didn't need a full stop and a new sentence here. It's just in the year 2008. In the year. So, one sentence, no full stop, and then in the year 2018, okay? Initially, it is evident that Hungary experienced the highest purchases compared to Belgium, which witnessed the lowest profit in general. So, you didn't need, I don't know why there's a full stop here. It needs to go here. Now, let me see what you mean by this. Now, you said something about income and highest purchases. No, that's not what you mean. You mean that... Okay, now, I want you to be careful with this. What you want is that it just had the highest number of purchases. Don't talk about income, because it's very possible that a BMW costs more than Ford, and so there could be more Ford sales than BMW sales, but because the cost of a BMW is higher, BMW in the end makes more money. So be careful with words like that. So, let's see. So it is evident Hungary. Let's see what you said about Hungary. Okay, so basically Hungary sold the most cars, is what you're trying to tell me here, as opposed to Belgium, which sold the least. Okay, so yeah, no talk about income here. So highest purchases, fine. And again, don't talk about profit. We're not talking about profit. We're simply talking about the number of sales, okay? So it can be seen, okay, clearly it can be seen from the graph that there was a huge fluctuation in the Ford sales over the Balkan countries with about 20 to 110,000. Why are you talking about dollars? Let me see this. Am I missing something? No. There's nothing about dollars. It is just the number of cars sold. Okay, so just when I look at this, I see that there's a lot of fluctuation. It looks like BMW had a lot of sales in some of the countries, and I don't even know why you were talking about the Balkans, because why are you talking about the Balkans? I'm not sure why. It's just throughout Europe. Let's see. So it looks like Audi had the least sales. Yeah, torn between Ford and BMW. I'm not really sure. It's not 100%. It looks like BMW had the most sales, but all right, let's see. So yeah, again, I don't know. You just talk about European countries. So there was a huge fluctuation in the Ford sales over the European countries with about 20 to 110. Full stop. While Germany, Ireland, and Holland had an approximate income. Again, I don't know why we're talking about income. In stark contrast to this, in Belgium, no. Belgium had a significant increase. No, in. Why are you talking about an increase? Nothing changed. Okay, we use the word increase when we talk about a change over time. There is no change over time. It's just a survey which shows what happened in 2018. So we shouldn't be talking about increases. We're just using the language of comparison here. So this was higher than this was lower than this was double this, and so forth. But there's no actual movement. There's no actual action happening. So avoid words like increase. Okay, but Audi and BMW had considerable falls in their sales. Again, we're not talking about decreases. We're just saying they had lower sales. They had fewer sales, okay? However, it can be seen, missing a B. B seen from the graph. Hungary is in the first level. Well, that's not really a very natural expression for this. So Hungary has the most sales, and France the next highest number of sales in the 3 car models. Okay, in terms of the sales in UK, by 200,000 is lower. I don't understand this. In just 10% of the profit. I'm afraid I don't understand that. Although Italy was not lucky in Ford, and Audi sales is just 10 and 20% of the profit. Yet she was lucky. Okay, we don't use she for countries or he. And I don't know why we're talking about luck here. We're talking about Italy. What are you trying to tell me? Okay, Italy, there it is. So Italy had approximately 90,000 sales of Ford. Oh, I'm sorry, of BMW. However, its Ford and Audi sales were equal at around 10,000 each. Okay, that's all you need to say about Italy. So, it is important to note that, no comma here, Hungary had the highest number of sales, nearly 400,000, making it the country, there's no full stop here, making it the country with the highest sales of the 9 countries. Okay, so lots of grammatical problems here, lots. And it looks like you didn't understand the bar chart in general. Nobody talked about money. There was no dollar sign. There was no euro sign. So we're not talking about profit. We're not talking about money earned. It's just how many. It's the number sold, not the amount of money made. I'm going to say that again. And it's important because what happens is that when you write it like this, it makes your description inaccurate. Okay? And that can definitely cost you points in task response. So, let's see. Is there another one? I thought there were 3 here. Let me double check. No, I guess there aren't. Wait, yeah, there is. Oh, no. All right, so there's just 2. Okay, fine. So, pollution, fine. What are the reasons and how can it be solved? So, nowadays, after the development in this area that occurred, particularly after the huge inventions of cars and loads of technological devices that humans have been utilizing, which that leads to many negative impacts with the... Okay. All right. There's something missing here. You're missing a verb. Oops. I hate when this happens. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to try changing the sentence around a bit. So nowadays, after the developments in this era, particularly huge inventions like cars and loads of technological devices that humans have been utilizing, comma, there have been many negative impacts with environmental issues and pollution. Okay? I had to change a lot because grammatically it was inaccurate. Nevertheless, this essay will analyze this issue, which happened in the megacities, no full stop, providing the problems with their solutions that should be addressed by people and the government. Okay, so that's fine, except that it didn't ask you for the problems, it asked you why the problems exist. Okay, so careful. I hope you don't talk about the problems. I want you to tell me why the problems occurred and not the problems themselves. Okay, let's see. So firstly, undoubtedly, environmental pollution problems happened after many processes to make our lives easier. No, this should be lives, such as vehicles, despite the fact that using cars rather than public transport will be more convenient and make, no s, cars will be more convenient. And okay, that's fine. Yes, s, makes our journeys more comfortable as it does not prevent the truth behind this dangerous impacts, which are the gas emissions. Okay, this is a little awkward here. Does not prevent the truth. It's just not something you would normally read. It's not typical of the kind of language we use in an essay. Take, for example, studies by the American University of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates, which shows that in the recent years, 70% of the petrol decreased dramatically. Okay, what does that mean? Due to the fact of the high numbers of fuel utilization by people, all right, this is not its own sentence. It's a fragment. It belongs with the previous sentence. Okay? So, due to the high usage of fuel by people for their cars, that's what you wanted to say, which makes the environmental pollution worse as well. Okay? So you've got all these full stops here. You don't want any of them. You don't want this one here. You don't want this one here. And you needed to kind of reduce the number of words here. However, that leads to incredible achievements by the government, which leads them to build a city named Masdar, based only on alternative source. Why are we? I don't know why we're talking about this now. You're going off topic. Okay. So I don't know why that's there. Okay. Secondly, many countries have been suffering from these problems over and over because of the negative influence that happened after that, which is dangerous to their health, especially youth and children face. Okay, I really want to clean this up. So, secondly, many countries, not secondly, it shouldn't be firstly and secondly, it should be, there are numerous reasons which explain the high level of pollution. Okay? And then here, your sentence should be something like, despite the problems, numerous solutions exist to rectify this situation. So that would be a good first sentence here. Okay, so many countries, and then you can do the rest of this, but without the secondly. So many countries have been suffering from these problems over and over because of the negative influences which are damaging to the health of the young and children. All right? So, for instance, respiratory, this is not a full sentence, Raneem, so it should be, one such example is, or for instance, respiratory illnesses that industrial cities cause are on the rise. Tell me something, but give it a verb. It's just a fragment where you have it. Since the numerous numbers of factors which lead to widespread smoke all over the air that we breathe. Again, not a full sentence. So let's see if we can do this. Yeah, and I mean, you have to make fuller sentences. It's like you've got these clauses, but they don't create full sentences. It's like they're half sentences. So I really need you to revise some of this grammar, okay? As a consequence, to tackle this issue, each country authority must add a limit on the number of factories that exist in each area. In addition to reducing the gas activities as much as they can. Okay, again, in addition, gas activities should be reduced as much as possible to prevent gas emissions to spread. As a result, that will make people's lives with a VES healthier and safer. Okay, so you started to talk about the solutions, but you only talked about it in your last two sentences, so that is not enough. You need to develop that more. The whole paragraph should be about the solutions, and it wasn't. It wasn't until you got here as a consequence when you started to talk about the problems. So, and not only that, but you needed to develop them more. You needed to talk about this. You have to explain to me not just what the solution is, but why it's a solution and how it can help. So, to conclude, with careful planning to minimize the amount of damage and harm, not harmful, that many inventions cause, no S, the issues of pollution would be reduced. Consequently, not, okay, fine. So, I think I've given you quite a bit of feedback on these essays. There are a lot of grammatical mistakes that you really need to work on improving. So, start with fixing those, and I would be very happy to see more of these essays from you so we can help you improve. So good luck. Send us more essays. We'd love to help you. You may want to consider the course as well. So best of luck with your writing.